In 1999, Henry Freitag took...
oh, the city of Penetanguishene, was it that one?
Yes, it was that one, yeah. He took the town to court to protest the saying of the Lord's Prayer. The court ruled that this prayer was specific to Christianity and was offensive to Freitag, who is Jewish. The court ruling applied to all municipalities across Ontario. Secular Ontario identified 28 offending municipalities.
Just within this province?
Just within this province. And for, well, Secular Ontario sent them what they called a cease and desist letter. We were fortunate in getting plaintiffs for Bancroft and Owen Sound and Pembroke.
Tell me which of those came first?
It was the Bancroft one first. And what they were saying was the Lord's Prayer. Dagmar Gontard was the plaintiff, and she first, before taking them to court, she went to the council and said, you know, please don't say it, and so on and so forth.
I wrote a letter to my council, and I asked in that letter, I wanted to start in a conciliatory way. So what I asked at that time in 2008, I explained why I felt excluded from this procedure of opening with Lord's Prayer, and I asked them to be included. And I explained that as an atheist, I would like to be allowed to say atheist invocation once or twice a year. So that letter came to my municipality, and the councillors took knowledge of that. But unfortunately, my request was not granted. So they continued with the prayer.
You almost see this fight, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but as more perhaps of an educational campaign,
I think
as much as it is a political one.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, if you see the reaction of some people in front of secularism, it's already there. How can we accept that? You can't punish people for something they don't understand. So I think the education, if you call it education or explanation, or it's as important as legal threats or something like that. I hate it, and I was hoping that that we would not go to the court, and we finally didn't go to the court. So that was good. So I think in this particular case, both were important, but I insist on education, and I think that has to be done. And I think that humans can get together in a peaceful, reasonable process.
Right now we have two cases pending. One is from Veronica Abbass from, now she's in Peterborough.
I wrote the mayor, I wrote my city councillor, and got unsatisfactory answers.
And the other one is Peter Ferguson, and he lives in the Owen Sound area.
Just after the last municipal election, the town of Owen Sound, which is the location of the Grey County seat, I'm suing Grey County, that the city of Owen Sound, one of the councillors raised the red flag and said, we're saying prayers here in our council deliberations. Should we be doing this? And if not, how can we change things? And the local paper was smart enough to say, well, not only is it happening with the city of Owen Sound, but Grey County is using the Lord's Prayer every time it gets together as well. And the warden at the time said to the paper, well, if anybody says anything about it, then we'll do something about it. So I immediately wrote a letter saying, put me on the list because this is not right. And it's not right because it's a charter issue. It's not permitted by the charter. And I found, to my surprise and dismay, I was the only person who said anything. And so that kicked off a process of about a year and a half, whereby I would go to council, make presentations, send presentations, trying to convince them that precedent showed that they were breaking the law and that it was not a good idea to be breaking the law, and could they please stop.
It seems ridiculous to me that we go through what appears to be a religious service instead of the business of a city. It carries with it the assumption that Peterborough is a Christian city, a Christian society, which there's no indication of that.
When councils open with the Lord's Prayer, or any prayer for that matter, they're excluding non-Christians. Governing bodies, such as municipalities, have the mandate to accommodate all residents.
But there are all these other bigger problems that you were pointing out.
Exactly.
Why do you find that the prayer issue is not necessarily that you're right about it, but why do you think it's important enough to be worthy of the kind of effort and focus and time that you put into it?
Because it's part of the big picture. It's the part of the whole power the religion has over, or used to have over us.
I'm curious if, for you, this is part of a larger agenda. You mentioned you're not a member of Secular Ontario. Are you a member of any other secularist or humanist or atheist organizations for whom this is part of a larger project, or is it just something that personally means something to you and that's why you got involved?
The latter. I just got involved in this because I saw my councillors breaking the law. When I see my governments breaking the law, I intend to take action, but I don't have a concerted program. There's no next on the hit list for me. It's just, if something comes up that's wrong, take care of it. I expect that from any citizen.
And it's also interesting when you have some satisfaction. As I say, last year a person came to me after our conference about secularism, and that person said, well, I think that I understand that secularism is a place when we all can meet.